This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, Dunedin Hospital closes 2 wards after gastroenteritis is discovered. Hoo-hoo bugs could become your new main source of protein according to new research. And the Otago Museum is getting ready to farewell a beloved staff member this week. Tēnā koutou katoa, kia ora, I'm Simon Anderson. Dunedin Hospital has closed 2 wards following a gastroenteritis outbreak. The Southern District Health Board has implemented infection and prevention control measures to try and limit the spread of the virus. Southern DHB Chief Operating Officer Hamish Brown says the virus was detected at the hospital on Monday. The norovirus has so far been confirmed in 2 wards, with another ward staff awaiting test results. 15 patients and 6 staff have had or have the virus. The affected wards are currently closed to visitors, and patients are not allowed in or out of the wards. It's not yet known when or how the virus arrived on the premises. The government has doubled its initial aid package to Tonga to $1 million. 2 Royal New Zealand Navy ships have departed Aotearoa, New Zealand today for Tonga following yesterday's successful surveillance and reconnaissance flight by an RNZAF Orion. Further flights are on standby to deliver humanitarian aid and supplies once the ash has been cleared from the runway at Nuku'alofa Airport, allowing planes to land. Tonga has been mostly cut off from the outside world following a massive undersea volcanic eruption on Saturday night. It's expected to take 3 days for the naval vessels to get to Tonga from New Zealand. Hoo-hoo grubs could become a prime source of protein for New Zealanders wanting an environmentally conscious diet. That's according to new research from the University of Otago, which has delved into the larvae's nutritional value.
They may not look appetising, but hoo-hoo grubs could be the key to helping people reduce their meat consumption. That's the message from new Otago University research, which looked into the amount of protein the bugs contain.
They have good nutritional profile, and they should be consumed as a balanced diet, like as a part of a balanced diet.
With a protein content ranging from 26 to 30%, hoo-hoo grubs have a higher amount of protein compared to traditional sources like beef, which is usually around 21%. Researchers say a person weighing 60 kilograms would need to eat 75 hoo-hoo grubs to meet the daily protein requirement, which could also be sourced from 230 grams of beef. And while eating that many grubs might put some people off, it could be the answer for those wanting an environmentally conscious diet.
Oh, definitely, they should be trying them, and they also should be thinking about not the icky factor, but how they are really impacting the environment by eating grubs instead of the conventional protein sources.
The next step is more research around easily turning the grubs into powder form, making it easier for consumers by turning it into pasta, breads and muffins. In Dunedin, the South Today.
The Invercargill City Council is considering investing more money into the area's new CBD redevelopment project, which hasn't surprised the city's Ratepayers Association. The council is proposing to invest a further $7.5 million into the development, along with a $22 million short-term loan. The overall budget for the Invercargill Central project has ballooned from $165 million to $180 million. The Invercargill Ratepayers Association says it knew from the very beginning the cost was going to increase. However, it agrees there are no other options now the high-profile project is underway. The council says the extra investment will increase council debt by $30 million, but will not have any direct impact on rates. Things are set to go off with a bang this Friday for a departing staff member at Otago Museum. The museum's popular Spanish-born science communicator is leaving Dunedin for a new job in Christchurch.
Amadeo Enrique Ballestero's plans for the future are no longer on ice. Following a year of uncertainty, the Otago Museum science communicator is reluctantly leaving the city to take up a new job at Breen's Intermediate in Christchurch.
They have a new lab there, so I'll be in charge of the lab. I'm excited about it because that means I'll be able to keep blowing things up there. And schools will come to that lab as well, so it won't only be a Breen's Intermediate program, but a program that is open to other schools.
Arriving in Dunedin about 20 years ago, he stayed on after finding a job he loved at the local museum.
My plan was to come and study. I did a geology degree here and then go back home, maybe go to England, where I could do maybe more study or start working there. But as soon as I got involved with the museum, that was it. This was really my dream job, and it's been like that since.
The science demonstrator is well known for his enthusiasm on an often complicated subject. Ballestero was promising he'll still return to Dunedin to do more of his controlled, explosive science experiments.
Being in Christchurch means that I can come back to Dunedin, and so I'm planning to come back to do school shows, to do community events. The Science Festival, I'm sure, will be something that I will keep doing things for.
He's planning one last big farewell show with his colleagues at 1 p.m. this Friday at the Otago Museum. In Dunedin, the South Today.
E whaakinei is still to come on the South Today. Art in Alexandra moves outdoors, and Christchurch dive bomb enthusiasts see who can make the biggest splash. See you soon.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Spark your joy with jazz, the next generation from Honda.
Every day the team at Gillian's supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi there, guess who? Do you recognise the eyes? Oh, okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for the great summer.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits!
So, as my favourite cut says, keep calm and carry on.
No mai no, welcome back. Art from across central Otago went on display to the public over the weekend in an outdoor setting. The Art in the Packing Shed event allows people to view and buy creative works in a cafe environment.
With central Otago temperatures soaring over the weekend, it was perfect timing for an outdoor art event. The third annual Art in the Packhouse Day in Alexandra is an open-air art exhibition held in the back garden of the Packing Shed Cafe.
I guess we just decided it'd be nice to have, combined with this nice, area here, and bring all the artists together and combine it with food and wine and music.
Artists were on hand to sell their works and demonstrate their crafts. These miniature stone houses were made by Beryl Marshall, using rocks from her Middlemarch backyard.
I'm making a replica of a gold miner's cottage based on my great-grandparents' cottage at Kokona, out of the schist rock.
A lot of the moulding on these more elaborate pieces here is referencing to kind of architectural plasterwork in old Victorian houses.
The day celebrates both creative professionals and hobbyists from the wider central Otago region.
We have a lot of people that only like knitting. We have a lot of people that like spinning. Some people do some beautiful weaving, which we haven't got here any today. And we also dabble in a little bit of felting.
While numbers were down due to COVID-19, the Central Otago Art Society was still happy with the day, with the venue proving popular for art lovers. In Alexandra, the South Today.
A great visual event made waves in Christchurch over the weekend. Called a manu competition, it's a fun dive bomb challenge where competitors aim to make the biggest splash.
It's less about soaring like a bird and more about perfecting the art of the splash. And there was plenty of that on display on Sunday at the Jelly Park complex in Christchurch with the City Council's Manu competition. Winner of last year's inaugural event, John O'Horton, is aiming to defend his title, turning in a good set at the latest round of the series over the weekend.
It's mostly the splash and just the community, the attraction, and it's definitely is good when you crack a good one, You usually just get the straight lines or the highest splash and the biggest manu as well.
In between big splashes in his spare time, Horton also teaches the young kids how to safely manu.
I love hanging out with the little homies, bro, and we just come to the pools every day if it's hot. Yeah, we just try to get the best manus we can,
Gorillas, coffins, staples and the manu, or bird, are the different styles of the great Kiwi tradition of bombing in the pools. Aquatic supervisor Ryan Crosby says the competition was started to provide a safe way for all to enjoy the popular Kiwi pool activity.
We want kids to come down and be able to participate in a safe manner. A lot of kids will come to the pool every day after school and they'll participate in manus and bombs, and they treat it like a real sport. So we want kids to be able to come down and do it in a safe and controlled manner off diving boards and compete against each other.
6 heats will be held in Christchurch City Council pools across the city ahead of the grand final in early March. In Christchurch, the South Today.
The clunk of mallets on balls is ringing out in Ashburton as the town hosts the Golf Croquet Nationals. The sport is a quicker-paced version of the traditional game and is finding a home among younger competitors.
The lawns of the Ashburton Domain have been taken over with players from across the country travelling to South Canterbury to compete in the Golf Croquet Nationals. Tournament manager Audrey Lee says the sport is played at a faster pace than traditional croquet and attracts a number of younger players.
Some of these players are under 18 here, they're mostly younger. We've only got about 4 that are over 50.
17-year-old Levi Franks and 18-year-old Josh Winter are the current Nationals doubles champions and hoping to defend their title this week. Lee says the older, experienced players are happy to see so many teenagers interested in the game.
That's wonderful. It's good to see these young kids out here playing, right? Yeah.
The duo say they enjoy the strong competitive nature of the sport.
It's fun to play with your friends, and then also the competition aspect, getting good at it and winning national tournaments and stuff.
This is the first time the Wairika Croquet Club has hosted the national tournament, which runs until Saturday. In Ashburton, the South Today.
After the break on the South today, a Queenstown teen shows how fast he can race a car from inside his house. And we have your midweek weather. Hea koko ake nei.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
Hi, I'm Eden Carson from the Otago Sparks and we'd love to see all your support down here at the Uni Oval this summer.
Livingwell Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole Map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hey, what have you got? Okay. Chicks World, party time, excellent.
Love it!
Chicks World.
Chicks World!
Right.
Hoki mai no. For parents of teenagers who despair over the time their kids spend in the virtual world, Hugo Allen is proof that time isn't necessarily wasted. The Queenstown 17-year-old is a rarity in motorsport, speeding into the racing world through virtual racing.
Following in his father's tyre marks, Queenstown 17-year-old Hugo Allen first entered the world of simulated car racing when he was 13. 4 years on, he's changing gears to take over where his father Ross Allen left off.
Well, I started in sim racing. My dad obviously used to race in Porsches, so the connection was already there. And it wasn't a case of him pushing me into anything, but I started in the sim, like I said, and it sort of went from there.
His dad raced a Porsche GT3 on the Pro-Am circuit, so Hugo grew up with a connection to racing. But despite his virtual skills, Hugo initially wasn't sure if he could swap the simulation for the real thing.
I pushed really hard to get really fast in the sim, and honestly when I started I didn't believe that I could make the transition into a real car.
He says a lot of drivers typically come through the go-kart racing circuit. For his own transition coming through simulated racing, he found real-life car controls a little deceptive.
It was quite tricky because initially I thought I was going like really fast, but I looked at the lap time and I was sort of 5 seconds slower than what I should have been doing. But then we sort of built on it and just got chipped away at little things, got rid of some sim racing habits.
Hugo Allen hit the track over the weekend in the Motorsport NZ Premier Championship at Highlands Motorsport Park near Cromwell. Starting in 7th position, he finished 6th in his first race for his best finish of the day, and enjoying the challenge of driving in the real world. In Cromwell, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The Southern DHB has closed 2 wards and implemented preventative measures after gastroenteritis was discovered in Dunedin Hospital. New research by the University of Otago is showcasing the nutritional benefits of huhu bugs that they can bring to the dinner table. And the Otago Museum is getting ready to farewell a beloved science communicator who is heading to Christchurch for a new job. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome editor Barry Stewart. Kia ora, Barry.
Hello, Simon. Yeah, I don't think Hoo Grubs will be on my menu, actually. But anyway, following up from an important story we ran last week, a Dunedin mother who was planning to take maternity leave was told by a bank it would only consider giving her a mortgage if she returned to work within 90 days of giving birth. Wow. So, of course, that follows the story we had in the paper last week where another Dunedin woman who went shopping at Kmart for Christmas was declined a loan for some home renovations because of her Christmas spending. So, so it's quite an issue, and it's captured the headlines nationwide, and the politicians are now backtracking a little, and there's a review of that law. So we'll see how that turns out. We're also talking to the family of the glider pilot who died in an accident yesterday. Yeah. And another grim story, a Southern District Health Board has apologised and said it let down a man who made repeated visits to the emergency department, none of which detected the colon cancer, which ultimately killed him. So a review there and a pretty poor report there on that incident. Yeah. So that and lots more.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's southern view, peering at First Church past the Fleur-de-Lis. Looking at the situation, a front moves over southern districts tomorrow with a trough of low pressure developing as it wobbles northwards. This causes the cold southwesterly airflow to carry rain across the region. Heading to the northwest of the island, rain for both centres here on 20 or 21 degrees. In the northeast, Nelson and Blenheim the brightest spots on the island, 27 and 31 degrees and just a hint of cloud. And it gets both warmer and wetter as we travel down the Canterbury coast. Showers in Kaikoura on 24 degrees, rain for Christchurch and Ashburton on 26 and 28. Looking at what's in store for the southern towns now, Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all in for strong southwest winds, early rain easing and a high of 15 degrees. Across in central, strong southwesterlies here too. The rain persists in Wanaka, Queenstown and Alexandra on 17 and 18 degrees, but eases in Te Anau on 15. Southwesterlies further north as well. The rain comes later to these centres, still warm on the coast, 24 or 25 degrees, cooler inland on 19. In Dunedin, showers develop tonight as the northerlies die out. A warm evening though on 16 degrees. Early rain eases to showers tomorrow afternoon, but the same time as those southwesterlies pick up. A high of 21 and a low of 10. The showers come and go on Thursday, but the fresh to strong breezy southwesterlies remain. A high of 14 and a low of 9. Similar news for Invercargill, some rain tonight with decreasing northerlies and an overnight low of 14. Rain subsides tomorrow as southwesterlies increase, a high of 15 and a low of 10. But the rain is back on Thursday along with those fresh, cold southwest winds, a high of 14 and a low of 9 degrees. And that's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and you can follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.